Well, good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's okay. Right, last week we had some technical issues, so a number of people have asked about this with respect to can you please go through the useful tools again? So here we are on Introduction to Some Useful Tools Part 2. These are all tools that Rob and I use in our businesses. We've got a number of businesses between us, and we look after a number of them. And these are some of the useful tools that we find are very helpful. There are obviously a lot of tools out there. And to steal your words, Rob, this is a business, and you do need tools in any business. And this is just like anything else. You do need tools, and luckily these days there are plenty of tools out there for us to choose from and to help us along with our business. I know when I first started, or when we first started a few years back, there were very few tools available at all, and it was all done on gut feeling, spreadsheet calculations the best you can. But these days it's a lot better for us sellers from a tools point of view. So without further ado, Rob, we can just jump in as and when if you see anything. That'd be great. But otherwise, let's just jump in. So the first tool that we're going to talk about is an all-in-one tool. This is Sellics. Okay, and this does a number of things. So this really does help you look after your entire business. So I'm just going to go through each of these elements, and then we're going to dive into just some of them in more detail. So let's have a look down here. Where are we? So we got the research products, a product research tool. Okay, so that allows us to look at potential opportunities of various different products in order for us to make an analytical decision with respect to, is this product worthwhile looking at or not. So that helps us do some product research. The next element within Sellics is inventory control. So this has got a piece of software inside of Sellics that you load up with respect to what your current inventory is, and then it will be able to, because this tool actually links it. In fact, most of these tools link directly into the back end of your Seller Central account through the API. These tools are able to monitor and take data directly from your account on Seller Central. Consequently, every time you make a sale, it will automatically update the inventory with respect to a negative quantity, because the sale has been made. Therefore your quantity is going down from an inventory point of view. Every time that you make a shipment plan, the control system here will monitor that, and as soon as you got product in stock again, it will update. So it allows you to monitor, control. You can actually set various different warning levels with respect to certain products. So if you've got a product that's selling really well, and you know that it's going to take several weeks to restock, you can set your warning level at 200 items, for example, because you know that your run rate or your sell rate is 200. Will allow you to place the order, get products back into FBA before you run out. Okay, so that's a very useful piece of software from monitoring your inventory levels. This is a new part of Sellics, so the Optimize Amazon ads. Now this does very, very similar actions to what PPC Scope does, and we're not going to go into PPC Scope today, but that is, we've touched on it before. It's a dedicated piece of software that helps you monitor and control your advertising inside of Amazon. Now Sellics are doing something very, very similar. And what they can do is, one, it can monitor your advertising spend within Sellics on the dashboard. And two, you can always, you can also control what is going on from Sellics inside your Amazon ads account. Yes, there's no need to go into your ad account and to make adjustments there. You can do it directly from the dashboard within Sellics. Okay, so all of the information is pushed back into your Seller Central account and your advertising campaigns. So that's pretty useful because you're just going on one platform within Sellics as opposed to jumping around. And again, like I said, PPC Scope does exactly the same. You know, you can monitor and control it. You can adjust. You can sort of increase, decrease, cut out words, change words, add words, and push that back into Seller Central. So now Sellics are doing something similar, which is good. Always a very good screenshot to get is measure your profit. Now, these are screenshots that we do like. Now, what Sellics does here is obviously it does that back end calculation with respect to what your sales price. Now, you obviously need to spend a little bit of time at the front end is when you sign up with Sellics, loading up all the correct information into it. In other words, what is your selling price? What is your cost of goods? What is your shipping costs? Any other miscellaneous costs associated with bringing that product into Amazon FBA? Once all of that's set up, you can actually look at the dashboard and get a snapshot in time with respect to what profits you're making on a daily basis, hourly basis, monthly, yearly, last year, or whatever period of time that you want to look at. So that's a very useful snapshot in time with respect to how well you're doing, or I guess it's a good measure with respect to are you making profit or not on your products. Improved rankings. Now, over here we've got improved rankings. On here, it monitors your progress and performance over a period of time, such that you can basically review how you're doing from a sales point of view, from a BSR point of view, from some various different other attributes that you can load in and monitor. And if you see that your BSR is shifting, or it's going up or it's going down, you can go back in and you can look at all of the other attributes with respect to why is this happening? Let's have a look to see if I can adjust something in there to improve the situation if the rankings are not going so well. Okay, so that allows you to monitor and track where you are from a rankings point of view. Now, manage reviews. This allows you to review where your reviews are coming from. You can also reach out to, it's got basically an email system built into Sellics, so you can use that to reach out to customers. You've got to be very careful, and with respect to, you're not allowed to ask for reviews, but you can actually follow up with customers with respect to how is their experience with your product, and you can do it that way. So that's a little tool inside Sellics that allows you to do that, and it also allows you to monitor competitors. Now, this aspect of the program, you can load in a competitor's ASIN, and you can then monitor the performance over a period of time for that particular competitor. In other words, the selling price, is the selling price stable? Are they doing any promos or anything like this? You can monitor the BSR over a period of time. All right, so it just basically just tracks an ASIN. So I want to assume that you're going to be putting a competitor's ASIN for that. So what I'm going to do now is just going to jump into some of these elements. Like I said, I'm not going to jump into all of them, but I'm just going to jump into some of the key ones to see what they look like. All right, so this is the front dashboard. All right, so this is a pretty good snapshot in time, like I said, and it basically allows you to look at how well you're doing. Where's the money coming from? How's it broken down? So we can see here On the left-hand side, we've got the gross sales of 38,000. Okay, and we've got our PPC sales. In other words, we've loaded up all of our information from an advertising point of view, and we can see that 38% of the sales have come from our PPC campaigns. Okay, organic sales have been 62%. Right? So it's actually monitoring all of this. It also then breaks down the expenses. Like I said, you need to load up all of this information to start with once you set up your Sellics account. But once you've done it, it's a set and leave, and the system will actually provide you some really good information. So in this case, we've got the tax showing at 16%, FBA fees of 21%, Amazon, we've got 12% there, and goods 30%. So we can see that our profit is running at 21%. Okay, so we've got our gross sales at 38. We've got our profit at 12,750. All right, and you can see that our expenses in the middle. So that gives you a really good snapshot in time with respect to where your money's coming from, how it's broken down from an expenses point of view, and exactly what your profit rates are and what your percentages are. So that's nice. Screenshot to sort of check out. Right, the next one I'm going to be looking at is the tracking profit is now as easy as tracking sales, it says here. So this is breaking down into the Amazon profit calculator. So this is another little aspect inside Sellics which we like. So we can see here that the profit calculator, the sales plus shipping, and you can see exactly what we've got down here from a spend point of view and a cost point of view, and consequently a profit point of view. All right, so let me zoom in over to the right-hand side here, and then we can see exactly what's going on. So we've got sales and shipping at 1,436, and there you can see all of the relevant costs associated with all of the aspects of selling your products. So you've got the FBA fees, promos, any promos that you're running, that will take that into account. In this case, is 0. Units shipped, and you can see from the 1,436, all of these expenses are broken down in detail, taken away, including your pay-per-click costs. And again, we've got our profit down the end with our margin. So you know, it's going from the initial dashboard as an overall snapshot into the real detail aspect of each of your products. Now, if you've got one product, that's just going to show you one product, but it allows you to jump into multiple aspects if you've got different products like we have. So, which is good. This is another dashboard, which is really good. This is on the PPC Manager Tracking. Okay, so that's your advertising campaigns. Right, so like I said, you no need to go into Seller Central to get the information, because sometimes when you're in Seller Central, you need to pull out various different reports, like we have seen. But here it's all shown on one dashboard, which is really cool. So on the top left-hand side here, we've got a number of different aspects. We've got the revenue, we've got the cost. Okay, they got the A cost, which is the actual cost of sales. Okay, so that's giving us as a percentage. And basically the way that's worked out is the revenue divided by the cost, which gives you the percentage there. CPC is a cost per click. Okay, so if you've got an advertising campaign going out there, your ad is being shown on page 1. Every time somebody clicks it, it's going to cost you some money. That's the idea of being advertising on page 1. So you're showing up there. The idea is to convert that click into a sale. Okay, but in this case here, it's showing us some information with respect to cost per click is 10 cents. All right, so the number of impressions. Now, an impression is when your ad is shown to somebody. In other words, if I type into the search bar in Amazon, copper bracelet. Okay, so I've got the results page up, and on the right hand side, I've got some ads. Okay, and maybe at the top I've got some sponsored ads. So a couple of people are showing up for sponsored ads. All right, so that's your paid advertiser. That's your paid ad. All right, or their particular paid ad. That's an impression because that's being shown to me. Whether I do anything with it is up to me. As a potential buyer, I could actually scroll right down and ignore all of the paid ads, or I can look at one and think, oh, I like the look of that. That's a cool looking product. I'm going to click on that and have a look, find out a little bit more. Okay, if I like the products, okay, I could well purchase that. Okay, so the impression is when your ad is shown to somebody. When you click it, it's costing you money over here, which is a cost per click. And if I convert, in other words, if I purchase that particular product from the paid ad, it will go against the statistics like we saw on the dashboard with respect to a percentage of your sales was coming from your pay-per-click. The rest of the percentage was organic. All right, so that's what the impression is. CTR is click-through rate. Okay, so if your ad is shown and somebody's actually clicking it and going through to the actual sales page itself, that is classed as a click. All right, and the click-through rate is exactly that. It's just a percentage with respect to number of impressions divided by the clicks. So the click-through rate is a percentage there. Conversion rate, this is the really important one. This is the 12.05 in this case. So that's the people that have clicked that have actually purchased. Okay, so the conversion rate is an important metrics to understand and to track. And again, Sellics does a really good job of presenting this just on a simple dashboard. Okay, so we've got over here on the right-hand side, we've got how we're doing from a revenue point of view and the ACoS. Now, don't forget the ACoS is the actual cost of sales. So we can see there that we've got more sales than we've got ACoS, which is the right way around. If the amber line was above the green, that means we're not making any money. But in this case, we are. So that's pretty cool. Now, the rest of it is the individual metrics that are being monitored or tracked. Because we can see our revenue here. We can see the costs, impressions, click-through rate. So all of these are just individual ones shown from a graphical format. So again, this is a great little dashboard from a paid advertising point of view inside Sellics. So let's have a look at the next page, see what we've got. Keywords. Okay, so this is really linked with your pay-per-click campaign. And what it's showing you is your keywords and how they are performing. All right, so you can see here that we're listing an iPhone case. So just whiz over there and zoom in. So we can see that we've got iPhone 7 charger, iPhone cable, iPhone case, iPhone 7 Plus case, and you can see that this is the key, and you can see how they're performing with respect to what the colors are. So the green one down at the bottom here is the iPhone case. The one at the top is the iPhone cable. So in this particular case, this the seller is obviously selling iPhone accessories. All right, and again, it's just looking at where we are with respect to how the keywords are performing over a set period of time. So which is really useful as well. So next one. This is the research tool. All right, so we're talking about the research tool with respect to trying to find potential products. Now, this may look very familiar to a lot of us, and in fact, it is. And what they've done is they've taken a good, friendly, well-known and trusted Jungle Scout web app, and they've modeled this particular interface on that particular program. So it's that's why it's very familiar. All right, so again, we've got our filters with respect to these are the categories that we can select from. And here we've got kitchen and dining selected. On right-hand side here, we've got our attributes that we've talked about, where we've got the sales rank, we've got the buy box, in other words, the selling price. the number of reviews. So again, it's exactly the same as what Jungle Scout is all about from a web app point of view. You can add your attributes in here. You can then apply, and that will give you the results in the well-known interface. Okay, so it's exactly the same as Jungle Scout, but it's just they've taken that and put it inside Sellics. Okay, so that is a very useful piece of tool. As we know, this is again, it's just under one umbrella at the moment in Sellics, so which is cool. So what is Sellics all about? It really is an all-in-one tool for your Amazon business. Like I said before, when we looked at that initial what is Sellics all about, it does a number of different things that allow you to build your business, grow your business, track how you're doing, find new products. So it's an all-in-one, and it really is an all-in-one tool, so which is good. So we've got your profit dashboard down above. I'm just going to go through these profit dashboard. It's got a pay-per-click or your sponsored ads manager, ranking optimization, product research, inventory control, competitor monitoring, and review manager. So all of those aspects are important aspects within your business, and Sellics does a pretty good job of putting this all under one umbrella and allowing us to use that as a tool itself. So what else have we got? Well, Sellics have got a little like ace card up their sleeve, let's say. So if you look on the initial dashboard, you got a section called free resources. We always like free resources. So let's have a look. Sonar. Now, we mentioned Sonar before, okay? And it basically it's owned by Sellics and it's run by Sellics and it's under the Sellics umbrella. But it's part of their free paid ad set of tools. And what you can do here is you can do a keyword research. You can do ASIN research. Okay, so which is good. They've also got a paid Chrome extension up here, but there's no need to actually put that on. This is purely 100% free, and you can use it. Just put in and just search for Sonar tools, and you'll be able to find it. So, which is really good. How much does it cost? Well, not that much actually. It's pretty good. Sellics is an all-in-one, as we've seen, all-in-one tool that looks after everything. You've got your initial most popular, it says over here, at $77 per month. This is a monthly subscription fee. So that's $77 a month, and that includes all 7 features and 100 credits. Now, your 100 credits, your credits are used for tracking competitor and stuff like this, and various different other aspects you will need to actually put credits against. Okay, so and that goes right up to $499 a month for the 3,000 credits. So basically, it's an incremental jump in monthly fee depending on what your credits requirements are. All right, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's have a look at the next one. All right, Keyword Inspector. Now, Keyword Inspector is a pretty good tool. It's got a couple of things on here. I'm only going to go through a few of these. Okay, now what I'm not going to be doing is looking at Kipper. Okay, now you'll notice at the top here, let me just zoom in here so you can see what this is all about. Kipper. Okay, so that's how they pronounce it. That is a product research tool, which is a separate paid entity. We'll have a look at the pricing of that later. But what I'm going to be focusing on today is keywords and keywords trends, and having a look at that as opposed to the product research aspect of it. Okay, so what it does is it'll have a look at the trending keywords from a search point of view. It's got the indexation, in other words, and indexing, in other words, checking your words to see if they're indexed. A free suggestion tool. So let's have a look at some of the aspects inside Keyword Inspector. Now, this is a credit-based tool. All right, so you don't have to pay for this up front. There's no monthly fees from a software point of view. It's all credit-based. All right, so basically what you do now is go into reverse ASIN, as you can see at the top here. Select your competitor's product or the closest product that you're looking to actually run with. Get that ASIN, drop the ASIN into where it says the ASIN into the search bar, okay, and basically run. And what that'll do is pull up a number of different keywords, okay. Ignore the words Kipper here, but basically what it's doing is looking at various different keywords, looking at the trends, looking at the maximum, minimum searches over a period of time. Okay, so, and again, you can just download all of these keywords and you can have a look at those later and put them into various different campaigns, or just use them to build up your keywords for your back end later on. Okay, so this is the trending tool. So you can see here some of these trends. Outlet timer. Yeah, this is nothing going on down the bottom here, and all of a sudden there's a spike. This one's up here, 2016 weekly planner. Okay, this is like a rising trend with a spike towards the end. Okay, so you can basically see what the trend on a particular keyword or long tail keyword or search term, okay, is doing. Okay, so that's what the trend tool is all about. Okay, let's have a look at see how we use it. So the indexation. So this is the checking to see whether your words are indexed. Now, Rob, you've got a pretty good explanation what indexing is. If you'd like to cover that.
All right. So indexing, I'll turn your speaker off, Paul.
Oh, sorry.
All right, so indexing is basically that Amazon has registered that keyword associated with your product. So it indexes it in their files, I guess would be a good way to explain it, that you are associated with this particular word. Now, super important because you're limited to the number of them that you can get indexed. And it's looking like right now between 250 and 300 characters of your keywords can be indexed. So it can present problems with pay-per-click if you're not indexed for certain keywords. So those are the kind of things that make indexing super important. So keywords are probably the most important thing, because even if you have a great title, you have a great product, everything could be in order. But if you miss this one thing, which is getting your product indexed under the right keywords, no one will ever find your product. So I would say the most important part of owning an Amazon business is to have keywords, because you don't have a chance in the world at all if you don't have your keywords registered. You can have the greatest product, you can have everything can be in order. If you don't have that one thing, you could not be successful in any way. There you go, Paul.
Excellent. So this tool here allows you to check to see whether you've got your 250 or 300 characters indexed. In other words, does Amazon recognize what you're putting in? Now, again, we've got here, you can check the words in your title, the bullet points, description. Okay, so basically the most important ones are obviously the title and the bullet points. So you can do this from a number of different things. Firstly, if you've got your product up and running and you've got your listing done, check your listing to make sure that you are getting your keywords indexed. Otherwise, you can run this on a competitor's listing. All right, so you can copy their title, put their title in these boxes to see what words they are being indexed for. Okay, so this allows you to actually do some analytical spying with respect to if there's any keywords that you think, you know what, this is a copper bracelet and they're not being indexed for bracelet. This is crazy. This is obviously a good opportunity for me, because I know that if I position that word in my title correctly, it's going to get indexed. And they may have missed that out. So it's a very good opportunity to spy on your competitors and see if you can get that competitive advantage. Okay, so let's have a look at the next aspect with inside Keyword Inspector. Now, here what they're doing is linking up directly with the Amazon search bar, I guess. And if you go into the Amazon search bar and you put in copper bracelet A, and just leave it as A, what Amazon will do is they will suggest the top 5 or 6. And I think it's a setting in there, so you can get it for 8. I'm not sure. But they will suggest the top 5 or 6 next keywords that start with A. So you then backspace and do the same thing with the copper bracelet B. It will then give you copper bracelet B for boys, and that will give you the next most common popular keywords starting with B. All right, so that basically this is exactly what this tool does without you going through. Because if you do it longhand, in other words, if you do it manually inside Amazon itself, you would have to go in there and do copper bracelet space A blank, and then copy down all of the keywords that Amazon's suggesting. All right, to get through the alphabet on copper bracelet is obviously 26 times there. Then you try it on your next keyword, copper bracelet for arthritis A, whatever, and that's you've got to do that manually. In here, it does it for you. All right, so that's pretty good. Little tool inside Keyword Inspector. It's nothing new. None of these aspects are really new. It's just very, very convenient. Okay, very, very convenient in order to actually do that. So you basically put your word in there, and it will let you expand all of this and go through all of the suffixes, A, B, C, D, go through the complete alphabet, and just give you that one long list in one go. So there's no need for you to go in there and do it manually. So very useful. Excuse me. So keywords, what this initially, all of the tools that we've just had a look at, all of the aspects inside Keyword Inspector, they're relatively new. It first started out as really a reverse engineer tool from an ASIN point of view, trying to spy on your competitors' keywords. All right, so basically this is where we are now. And what we're doing here is we're loading in our competitors' ASIN down the bottom here. Okay, we'll put in the title, copper bracelet for men, blah, 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 whatever it is. We'll just basically copy and paste that, and we'll press run. And this is where you need your credits for this particular tool. All right, so let's move on. So what that does is that gives you your complete list of keywords associated with that particular ASIN. All right, but like I said, you do need the credits. This is where the credits come in. How do you get the credits? Well, I'm basically looking at the reverse ASIN in this particular case. Like I said, we've got Kipper over here, and we've got sort of other aspects over the right-hand side. But on the left-hand side, let's focus on the left-hand side here. Let me zoom in so you can actually read that a little bit better. Okay. So on the reverse ASIN, which I'm interested in at the moment because I want to get my keywords from the competitor, you need to buy credits. Okay. And what we do here is just click on this and just go and get more credits. Okay, so let's go and have a look at that. All right, so this is how much they cost. So you can buy a one-time credit package. Okay, so you can run up to 25 reverse async reports with this package, and that's at 25 credits for $20. Okay, 25 credits for $25. What do you get for that? You get 25 reverse async reports. Okay, so which is pretty good. The next package up is you can buy a one-time 100 credit package. All right, so basically what you do when you buy these packages or the amount of credits, they're basically just stored in your account until you use them. Now, I think the last time I used this particular tool was probably a couple of months ago, and I think I purchased the 25 credit package on my memory. I think I've still got 2 credits left. So they don't go away. They just sit there in your account until you use them. Okay. So if you want to top up, it's very, very easy. You just go through this and PayPal it through. All right. So it's very easy, very convenient, and they're basically there instantly. So if I buy now, I would, by the time I finished, I would have those 100 credits sitting there in my account, so I could just go ahead and continue my work on spying on my competitors. Okay, over on the right hand side there, we've got $100 for the 500 credits. That's obviously the most cost effective way if we're going to be doing an awful lot of spying and researching, which you may well be wanting to do when you're first starting out, or you know, if you're looking at a lot of competitors doing a lot of analysis. Obviously we've got the 25 credits down here at $20, then you got 40, then you got 100. So that's your credits. Like I say, you do need the credits to do your reverse async. Some of the other tools that we're looking at are free. They don't require any credits at all inside Keyword Expector. But once you start to do that reverse async, in other words, spying on your competitors to get their keywords, you need the credits. All right, so that's basically how and how much. Kipper, like I said, I'm not going to look into Kipper at the moment, but this is a monthly ongoing fee, and it's basically quite a comprehensive product research tool. Okay, so they've got 3 different payment systems here. We got a $39.95, we got the $79.95, and we got the just under $200. So depending on what you're doing, depending on how much you want to do, we've got those various different levels that you could jump into. Like I said, I'm not going to be going into Kipper because that's another comprehensive research tool. I'm looking more at the keywords and reverse async, or the overall umbrella aspect of looking after your account today. Right, so let's move on if we can. Here we go. This is one of our go-to tools at the moment, okay, within our businesses. AZoptimizer. Okay, now I've been through this before, and I'm going to go through this today. And I've got some screenshots with respect to what I have done, but it's got a number of different aspects on this. And once you log in, you basically come over to the AZoptimizer generator tools. Under the tools, it's got a number of different tools under there, which we're going to explore today. Okay, so let me just jump into that first one. Keyword generator. Now, this is a great tool to use. When I first started out, someone said to me, Paul, go and write down your keywords for your products. Well, back then, there was no AZoptimizer. There were no optimizing tools at all. There were no keyword tools, apart from, I think there are a couple out there, but I was not genned up at that particular time. All right, so I sat down and manually thought about my keywords for my my infamous measuring spoons. And I came up with probably about 20, 25 keywords, and I was really chuffing myself. Okay, so I went back to the guy and I said, look, I've got my keywords. I've got 25 keywords. He sort of laughed. I said, what are you laughing at? He said, well, for my business, for my product, I've got over 1,000 keywords. Well, I nearly fell over. Yeah, 1,000. How can you get 1,000 keywords for measuring spoons? Impossible. Well, it wasn't impossible because he introduced me to a keyword tool that I just put a keyword in or a couple of keywords, and it just generated all of these keywords for me. I was just totally blown away. But like I say, these days we've got an awful lot of these tools available, and this is our really go-to tool at the moment. So let's have a look at the keyword generator. Copper bracelet. So I put in copper bracelet, and that just spat all of these keywords out at me within seconds. Okay, so I didn't have to sit here and scratch my head thinking about all of these different terms, search terms, keywords, long tail keywords. It just done it for me. And the good thing about the AZoptimizer software is it gives you the search per month. In other words, it gives you the search volume per month for that particular keyword. It also ranks it. It also gives it a score. So this is the relevancy score. So if I'm searching for copper bracelet, you can see the copper bracelet is getting 367,000 searches a month, and it's got a score of 3.44, which is the highest relevancy score on the list. And it basically goes on and on and on with all of these particular scores, with all of these particular keywords and the relevant information that goes along with it. Now, what you can do is just download the results. When you got them downloaded into a spreadsheet, you can sort them. You can basically do whatever you want with them. But the idea is to try and find the most relevant keywords that are probably less popular, because the more popular of a keyword, the more expensive that's going to be in your pay-per-click campaign. Copper bracelet, for example, is going to be a very popular term because we can see that is 367,000 people are searching that per month. Okay, so if I'm trying to win that in my advertising campaign, it's going to cost me quite a bit of money in order to win that, because there's so many people searching for it. If I come down here, we've got copper bracelet Native American. We've got 4,600. That may be interesting. Okay, so you really need to be looking through your keywords carefully to identify some golden keywords, I guess. Okay, so basically what this does, it just gives you all of these keywords. You can just download them and you've got them. No need to sit here thinking about it. Okay, right. In the back end of Seller Central, you have the opportunity to put in 4,000 characters. Those characters are keywords. Okay, so you've got the opportunity to put in 4,000 characters worth of keywords in your back end. Okay, now at one point, we know for a fact that those keywords were being indexed and they were important to have in there. These days, it's a little bit unclear with respect to what the A9 algorithm is actually doing, whether they're actually searching through these keywords or not. So just to make sure that we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's, put them in there anyway, because Amazon changes their mind at a drop of a hat, as we know. Okay, so what this does, though, is it allows you to actually generate those 4,000 characters without really thinking about it. Okay, so let's have a look, see how it does that. Okay, now what we've got here is we've got a number of different blank fields. Okay, so we've got 15 potential opportunities to put in keywords. Now you must have 5. So it says here, it's got a reminder, a minimum of 5 fields must be filled in. All right, so we've got here copper bracelet, 1, wrist pain, 2, therapeutic bangle, 3, magnetic bracelet 4. And our 5th term that I put in here is bracelet for arthritic wrist. Now, all of these are keywords, all right? All of these are keywords or search terms. So what I've done now is I've selected Amazon.com because I'm going to be selling on the American USA platform. I then press retrieve down here and then sit back and potentially sip on my cup of coffee, because this does take, I would say, probably about 2 minutes to generate all of these keywords. But look what it does. Okay, so it's got these 4 fields here, all right? And it's basically broken down all of these keywords and put them into the 4 fields. So it's got 1,000 characters here. We've got 1,000 characters in the second one, 1,000 characters in the third one, 1,000 characters in the fourth one. All done, all sorted. I haven't got to worry about it. It's done. All right. How awesome is that? Let me just zoom in so you can see some of this. All right. In the first one, now the first box is the most relevant box. The last box is the least relevant box. So we've got mint, you can see down here, mint, rest, name. Probably used somewhere in a keyword, but it's not as relevant as magnetic, hand, tunnel, carpal. All right, so you can see that there's a relevancy going on with respect to how they're ranked or tiered when they're doing this 4,000 characters. So the top one will be the most relevant, working down to the bottom one, least relevant. And the interesting thing about this is I've got no idea what language this is. All right. But that's a good thing, because what they're doing here is automatically they select, I think, about 50 words, and they will work out the most relevant foreign language, and I think it's this case is Spanish. Okay, and they'll put those automatically in. So I would never have thought about sitting down and getting some Spanish keywords. I just wouldn't have done it. But this particular software does that for you. It's already thought about that, and it knows that if I am selling in America, that Spanish is a very popular language. All right, so it's actually included some of these Spanish keywords in there for me. Unbelievable. All right. Up the top, we've now got the opportunity to create a master list, what we call our master list. Okay, so what you can do here is just drag one of these keywords, put it up the top there, and you're now going to generate your master list of keywords. The keywords that you're going to be using on your front end, not the back end. Okay, so potentially I would put up wrist, pain, bracelet, copper, magnet, hand, tunnel, carpal. And then I just work through these and just drag up each of these words that I think, yeah, that's relevant. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to create my title from this. Okay, so you're now building up your master keyword list there. Once you've done that, you can obviously just download all of these. So you can download your master list. You can download these 4,000 characters. And when you download them, it will actually break them out into the 1,000 characters sections each. Indexing generator. Now, we've already talked about indexing. Rob explained what that was, and he went through that really clearly. And it is important that you understand whether your keyword's being indexed or not. And we've had a look at the keyword inspector tool. AZoptimizer has its own tool with respect to, is it being indexed? In other words, are your words being indexed? So let's have a look at that. So I have used the example of copper bracelet, and you can see my search term up here is copper magnetic bracelet. I've actually chosen this particular product as an example. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be copying down the title. All right, so I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste that into the relevant section. I'm also going to be copying down all of the keywords, okay, and pasting those into the relevant section. So this is the particular product that I'm using for the test. So let's go and have a look and see what the results are. So we're on the Amazon.com website. So if I go back, we can see the, we'll be able to find the ASIN number for this particular product. Okay, so you can find that in a number of different places. One, if you scroll down, it's in the detail section, or two, it'll be in the URL at the top. Okay, so basically what I've done there is here's my ASIN. So I've now copied in the ASIN, so it knows exactly what product it's got to check from an indexing point of view, not just some random product. It needs to know the exact product to check. So I've now got that in there, and you can see that I've now just copied and pasted the title and the bullet points into the keyword section. Now here at the moment, it only checks 1,000 characters. Okay, so you can't copy in more than 1,000 characters and get away with it. So I've now copied in the relevant information. I then press search, and it will come back with the results. Okay, and these are the results for this particular search. You can see on the left-hand side the section called index. Let me zoom in so you can see this. Okay, indexed. All of these words, the A9 algorithm inside Amazon's search engine recognizes each of these words for that particular product listing. Right? Don't forget, we actually put this specific ASIN into the indexing checker, so it knows exactly what products it's checking. We copied in the keywords that we wanted to check, and the software has now gone back in and say, right, Amazon recognizes this particular word over here. In this case, elegant, pure, copper, and it's got the list down here. What it also tells us is what Amazon did not recognize. In other words, the words that were not indexed or unindexed. All right, so we can see here, don't, it's, golfers. We got some special characters going on here. Probably that's why. But loose, function, over, is, to, and not indexed. All right, so if I zoom out, so what you can do now is you can either copy these words or you can download the words. I generally download both of these lists so I can actually see them in my spreadsheet, so I can start to do some analytical work on that. Very, very useful. Very useful to actually understand this. This is a great aspect within the AZoptimizer. Okay, this is the optimizing generator. Now, what this does is once you have your keywords listed out, you can then build your front end listing by optimizing all of the keywords you've identified. So let's have a look at see how it does that. So this is the interface with respect to optimizing your listing. Now, what you do is at the top panel here, you copy in your master list. Remember when we were doing our 4,000 characters, we had the opportunity to build our master list. That master list is the master list of keywords that we want to use to build out our list. So what we do is we copy all of those words into this top section here where it says all keywords. All right. We then start to build out our list. So on the right hand side here, we've got the title, bullet 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got 5 below. Okay. So as soon as you start to type words into your title, so we can see here that we've got elegant pure copper magnetic therapy bracelet, pain relief for arthritis and carpal tunnel. Right. This is just for an example. What you can see now is used keywords. So what it's doing is checking each of these fields, and when I type in a word in any of these fields, it will check all the keywords, in other words, my master list. It will check to see whether that word that I've typed in there is listed in the master list. If it is, it will drop that word into the used keywords section. Let me say that again. I'm now typing in the particular keywords for my title, bullet points, and bullet points. The software will check any of these words that are used from my master list or all of the keywords section. If it is, it will match it up and it will drop that into the used keywords. In other words, I'm monitoring what keywords I'm actually using. At the end of it, in other words, I've got my title done, I've got my all my bullet points done. So I'm going to have, I'm hoping, the majority of my keywords in the used keywords section. It will also show me down the bottom here my unused keywords. All right, so obviously I haven't got all of the bullet points written out here. But if I had, and I had 3 or 4 keywords in here that I thought, you know what, I really should be using that. That's a keyword that I really should be using. All I have to do then is go back into the title or one of the bullet points and see if I can weave in that particular keyword, as long as it's making sense when it's reading, weave that keyword that I've missed out into the right place. All right. So again, a very powerful, very useful element within AZoptimizer is your listing optimizer. Great tool. I love this. Let's have a look at the next aspect, listing auditor. So you spent all of that time doing research on your keywords. You've built your master list. You've optimized your listing using the previous software aspect we just looked at. Okay. So what you can do now is check to see how well your listing is actually optimized from an overall standpoint. All right. So what we do here is once you've got your product, so you've got the copper bracelet in this case, you don't put the ASIN in, but you put the overall URL for that particular product in. So you can see here, it's like amazon.com/elegant-magnetic-therapy. So you got the overall URL copied in there. I then got your name, in my case, Paul. You then put your email in because they do 2 things. One, they show you your results on the page live. They also email them to you, so you've got a copy of it. All right. So once you've got that, you just hit submit, and bingo, we've got our results. So this is the live review. Obviously, once you crash out of this, it's gone. So this is why they email it to you, so you've got a copy of it emails. But you can see here that the overall listing is rated as 62%. Okay. Then we can have a look at the individual aspects with respect to how well the listing has been optimized. The title is saying is 60%. Well, I'm sure I could do a better job if I really sat down and optimized all of the keywords, now knowing some of the information that I know from this tool, because I've got the keywords, I've built my master list. I'm sure I could do a better job at optimizing and getting that 60 close to 100, if not 100. Okay, so it allows you to actually understand whether you are optimizing your listing from each of these point of views. Bullet points. It's saying here we've done a pretty good job, or this particular seller has done a very good job on their bullet points. They've got 100 out of 100, 100%. Very good. Well done. Bullet characters. In other words, how many words or how many characters are in your bullet points. And again, they've optimized that well. Description. Description, we know at this moment in time, doesn't mean to say that it's going to be accurate tomorrow, but the description is not indexed. But what that does is it allows the potential buyer to have a look at your product and understand what it does. Star ratings. Let me zoom out so you can see this as a whole. Okay, we've got images, 100%. So we've got the opportunity to put in 9 images. If you've only got 2 images in there, you're not going to be optimized. So what they're saying here is all of the spaces have been used for the images, which is a good thing. Okay, star rating, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. That's what they're talking about here. And that's already sitting around 80% optimized. So it could do a little bit better, but that's not bad. Amount of reviews. On this particular product, it was one of the best sellers. It's got a lot of reviews. What they're saying here is 90%. If you're just starting out, don't worry. This is going to be red, okay? Because you're just starting out. You haven't got any reviews, okay? And the same as your product rank. If you're just starting out, don't worry, because this is going to be red because you're not ranked anywhere because you're just setting up your listing. But once you get going, once you start to sell, this will obviously increase, and it'll go from red to the yellow amber color and ultimately to green. All right. So what this does is an AZoptimizer. It really does help you optimize your listing from all aspects when you're building that listing out. So again, it's a great job. So how much does it cost? Well, basically, it's either, if you pay it on a monthly basis, it's $49 a month. If you pay it in one chunk, in other words, you pay it for a year, it works out at $45 a month. Okay. They have Rob and I know the developer and the guy that runs this. They've got another tool that is just about to be launched, and Rob and I have got the beta version of that. We'll be bringing that to you very, very shortly. It is awesome. And that is all about product research and finding your next great opportunity. But as it stands at the moment, the AZoptimizer platform, we just had a look at all of the tools in there. This is our preferred go-to tool when we're optimizing our listing and keyword research. So that's the new tools, or some useful tools to help you run your business. Okay, so let's recap where we were. So we had a look at Sellics as the overall umbrella looking after your complete system. There are others out there. I just picked up Sellics because I've used it before. We've got an account with them, so I know a little bit about it. Okay, we looked at Keyword Inspector to do some reverse engineering, reverse ASIN spying on your competitor. Okay, and we looked at the AZoptimizer, in other words, keyword research and optimizing your listing. All of these 3 tools are very, very useful. Very, very useful, very affordable, and I wouldn't say they're all essential in your business, but the overall term tools are essential in your business is an absolute true statement. Okay. I've just brought a number of tools to you today. There are hundreds out there, absolutely hundreds. So it's really down to if you're looking to get an overall good aspect, the ones we covered today will help you in your business undoubtedly. Okay. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I've covered enough information for you to get or understand at least there are a number of tools out there, and that tools are really important in your business and they do help you. And I hope I've showed you how they are helpful within your business. So if you've got any questions, now's the time. If you want to come down the front and talk to us once we come off air, now's the time to shout. I'll just drop the link in so you can come and do that. But in the meantime, we're just all about providing as much information as possible and helping you in your business. Right, I've just dropped the link into the chat, so if you want to come down, please do. Otherwise, if you've got anything to say, Rob, now's the time, because it's now 5 past. We've run over a little bit, but I think it was worthwhile because the information there was pretty cool.
Oh, all good. Thank you, guys.
Excellent. All right, team. Take care. Bye-bye.